Today, I partnered up with Home Depot and the Perspective program to review what this Octane 18-volt hammer drill driver and 6-mode impact driver combo kit is all about, but we're going to be focusing more so on the hammer drill aspect to create some DIY floating shelves for the mini humans room. This hammer drill is an industry-leading 1,300 inch-pounds of torque, and it also is brushless, which means it has 50% more runtime and a longer motor life than similar products. This Duo is actually a premium rigid offer. You buy this and get 2 tools for free. It comes with 2 batteries and a charger, so that's really rad because most do not. And then this impact driver, where it is industry leading 2,400 inch-pounds of torque. The impact driver also has 3 speeds and 3 specialty modes for increased versatility. I've linked this combo down below if you would like to purchase or want to learn even more about it, but let's dive into these floating shelves. I'm actually going to be using these 1-inch square dowels that I found at Home Depot, and this is because I want a skinny floating shelf, not a super chunky one. But again, the measurement's totally up to your aesthetics, so is the size. I'm going to be making mine 15 inches wide and about 6 inches deep. I measured, marked, and cut one piece to be 15 inches. That's going to be the long width piece that will be attaching to the wall. And then I measure, marked, and cut 3 pieces to be 5 inches because I want that shelf to be 6 inches deep. And that dowel that we're using is already an inch, so don't forget to compensate for the thickness or the width of your wood. I cut those down on my miter saw, then grabbed my hammer drill because I wanted to check it out a little bit more. There's 3 different modes: drill, screw, and hammer. The clutch will be overridden when you switch it into the screw mode. And I added my drill bit because I'm going to be pre-drilling holes, because when you're using a skinny piece of wood like the 1-inch, if you just go in with a screw to try to attach it, 9 times out of 10 it will completely split the wood. There are a ton of different ways to frame out for a floating shelf. You do want to make sure that you are framing appropriately for the weight you're putting on, but because the mini human legit requested these mini floating shelves just for her stuffed animals, I can get away with a very basic frame. I'm pre-drilling anywhere there's going to be a screw, so there will be 3 on the back because we are going to be drilling through the back piece into the smaller pieces to attach, and there's 2 in the middle where the spaces are because those are making way for the screws that will attach to the drywall anchors in the wall when we're installing. I switched out my bit and changed the mode because we were going to be moving on to screwing the wood together. Something I did notice that in the screw mode, when I would try to keep pushing the screw in because I am very aggressive, it would just stay flush to the wood. It wouldn't let me push further than I needed, which was really awesome. 4 pieces of wood and 3 screws later, we have our frame. It's very basic, and again, you just want to make sure you are compensating for the weight you're trying to put on. These shelves are not meant for a lot of weight. I measured and took note of what needed to be covered, and in total, it was going to be 5 pieces that I needed to cut down. I also tacked on the thickness of the plywood I was using, which was a 1/4 inch, just to make room because I decided to miter the edges of these pieces at a 45 to hopefully connect them to make them look a little bit more seamless, unlike my laundry room ones. One thing you do want to make sure of is that you have a flat edge to the back side of the wood that will be up against the wall because you want it to be completely flush. You definitely don't have to miter the edges out of 45, but it just makes the shelf all together, well, not my shelves because I ended up messing up, but it just makes the shelf together just look like a solid piece of wood. Okay, so just how I did my laundry room shelves, like tacking on the pieces when it's hung up, that worked for the wall-to-wall jumbo floating shelves that I did, and it didn't look as bad. I thought that with a little shelf, I could also do that, like install the cover when the frame is hung up onto the wall and anchored in securely. Looking back, what I think I should have done if I had more patience, I've been on this crazy go, need to get these projects out, is just to slow down and glue together the outside pieces to create a shell, hang up the frame on the wall by itself properly and securely, and then slip that shell onto the frame and call it a day. But that's not what I did. So we're installing with toggle bolts, or we were going to attempt to, but when you're using toggle bolts, you have to compensate for the thickness of your drywall, and I did not do that. My drywall, I think, was a 1/2 inch, and I was thinking it was 1/8 inch for whatever reason. So these did not hold well. You just pop them in. They should pop all the way through. When you start to screw your screw in, it will just flatten up that back end to hold it directly against that drywall and make it as secure as possible. But your girl, she got the wrong ones, so I had 4 industrial strength drywall anchors on hand. I ended up using those. I added piece by piece with my nail gun and then filled any type of mistake, which was a lot, with some wood putty and a spackle knife. Super fun fact, I thought I was doing this so right. I took so many precautions of like cutting the wood properly, ensuring that it fit onto the frame, going out and buying what I thought were the proper drywall anchors, and it just was not working. So I actually ripped that shelf completely out of the wall in a minor fit of rage. When I reinstalled with the proper drywall anchors, it was game time. I actually decided not to use my nail gun. I felt that was way too powerful for me trying to add the pieces on after the fact, so I switched to my pin nailer, which made things move a lot more seamlessly-ish. Once again, I filled in my mistakes with the wood putty. I let that dry completely before going back in with a sanding block to smooth it out. I also rounded out the edges because if you use a higher quality plywood, you can make it look like one solid piece of wood like I did for my bathroom floating vanity. Yes, I understand these look super sloppy, but I am not leaving them as a bare wood, so I wasn't too concerned where you can see like the layers of plywood being sanded to, because I am going to be painting these for the mini human's bedroom. I left these as a bare wood and decided to style them, even though they are not finished the way I want them to be. I wanted to show you that they actually hold a lot more weight than I anticipated. I hope that you guys enjoyed this quick and easy, well, semi-frustrating for me, tutorial for a DIY floating shelf versus the big jumbo ones I have in my laundry room. I can't wait to show you the reveal in Heaven's bedroom of how I'm styling them.
You moping? Has it been in this room too long, huh? You want to play with me, huh? Like really bad? Alright, I'm almost done.
Thank you so much to Home Depot for sponsoring today's video, and you guys for watching all the videos I've been pumping out. Tonight I am going to be having a DIY live and just chill, hang out, learn a new tool with me, see what it's all about. I will be announcing that time in the community tab, also on my stories via Instagram and YouTube, so hopefully I catch you there.